Letha Slauson claimed her daughter had terminal cancer, but the 5-year-old wasn't even sick. It was apparently, we think, a money-making scheme. And so for the Behavior Bureau, my real question is this that, or is it something like Munchausen or other mental illness? Money or mental illness? Spirit, you're first.
You know what? I'm going to say probably a combination of both.
Could
she
be.
probably, once the money started to roll in, it became an addiction to it. And I don't want to let Dad off too easy here either. We're going to have to come back around to that. I'll let everybody else roll on this. But him getting sole custody, where was he a year ago when the child's hair is getting shaved off, when she's in the papers and everywhere else for being an honorary firefighter, when Mom is at school checking her in, talking about medical disability, when they have to have mutual friends. You're talking social media on Facebook. Nobody says, hey, sorry to hear about your daughter. Dad doesn't know, but now he has sole custody. I'm just saying here, something is amiss.
Yeah, and that piece is hard. I mean, it's hard enough, Judy, to imagine a mom doing this. It gets even harder to understand how somebody so close can be so thoroughly sucked into this as the father.
Right. And of course, right now, most of the attention is on the mom because she's the one who really set everything up and carried it through. And I don't think it's Munchausen's, Dr. Drew. You know, when you covered the salt mom
and by
story,
the way, Munchausen by proxy. It wouldn't be a Munchausen.
Right.
Let's explain to people what that is. Munchausen or Burkitt syndrome is where people are preoccupied with the need for surgeries or they have medical conditions. They go back and they get very complicated treatments that end up hurting them typically. And when it's by proxy, it means all that gets expressed through the child. The child becomes the object of all this nonsense. Judy, go ahead.
That's right. And the caregiver is making that happen. And when you cover the salt mom story, I think that was a very typical presentation of Munchausen's by proxy because clearly her motivation was this very abnormal attention-seeking behavior. She really needed that for herself to survive, for this salt mom to survive. Now, when we're looking at this mom, it seems like money is the primary motivator here. And in that case, she's more considered possibly what we've been talking about as a sociopath, an antisocial personality disorder, somebody who would even use their own child to meet any goal, whatever that is, even if it's harming their own flesh and blood.
Erica, think about it. It's shaving the child's head. It's putting a nasogastric tube, forcing a plastic tube up the nose, down the throat, into the stomach.
That's why I think there's a chance that it could be Munchausen's by proxy, and I think we really need to, before we vilify this woman and say that she's the most horrible thing on this earth, we have to see if that's what it is, because it's that definitely could be the possibility.